What's going on, everybody? Back at Heritage Park here in Coleman. Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media. Walk in the Park episode, 18 in total? But it's been a while. I want to get back to doing these. Want to talk today, as you can see by the title, who needs it more? We got 4 teams in the college football playoff. Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State, in that order. Who needs it more? Well, who needs what more? A win in the semis? No. Who needs the national title more? More than the other. I think it's fair to say this, and this isn't ripping on Georgia, but I think it's fair to say, as the defending champs, the last team that needs a title this year is Georgia, because they just won it. Makes plenty of sense to me, although it would be cool. Like, what they have to lose is being the first team, and we literally go back 10 years, the first team to go back-to-back in college football history since 2011 and 2012, Alabama, of course, under Nick Saban. Georgia's the last team that needs it more. That needs the national title. I'm not here to rip on them. I'm not here to take it away. But Stetson, that defense, that offense, Kirby Smart, Tom Monken, everybody at Georgia, they've had their glory. They had it last year. So we move down the list. I think, and I'm just going to preface this by saying, I think it's between 2 teams. I think it's between Michigan and Ohio State. I'm not saying that's what the Natty's going to be. We'll get to, I'll make, let's see, I will make my preview videos maybe sometime next week. I don't want to upload or do anything on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but I might do something a couple days prior. But, get back to it. Georgia is the last team of these 4 that needs a natty. They just want it, right? You got to learn to share. Alabama has to share all the time. Michigan, the number 2 team in the playoffs. Michigan, you look at their drought, I think you got to go back to, when is the last time they won a title? Sometime in the 90s. Not too far back in college football. And fact check me on that. I could be wrong. God, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's freezing. But it's a beautiful day. Back to Michigan. Do they need it more? More than Georgia? Yes. Of all these 4 teams? Actually, I'm going to say it. I think of the 4 teams who need a national title, I think it's Michigan. I really do. Ohio State has one more recent, back in 2014. Now, then again, there's a case for Ohio State. Well, Ohio State needs it more because they're always fighting in the playoffs. They're always fighting in the Big Ten. They're always fighting. Makes sense. I think the team that needs it the least is Georgia. Now, TCU having a historic out-of-nowhere season with Coach Sonny Dykes. First year. Whew. I love it. I love this story of TCU. I really do. And you can make a case that maybe they need it more. Because what if, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but what if it's a possibility that after this season, we never hear from TCU again? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying, what if? What if, what if, what if? Right? You look at all these 4 teams. Who wants it the most? I'll tell you what. I know I've ripped on Kirby Smart a little bit. That dude's a motivator. I gotta give him props. I know he's tough on his team. I know he can chew his players out. I know he's tough. He's strong. Those are some hungry dogs. They want it the most. But do they need it? No. Y'all just had one. Learn to share. Of all these 4 teams, I'm going to say, because of the program, it's practically the winningest program, all-time record in college football. Michigan. Gotta give it to Michigan. I do want to hear from y'all in the chat as to who you think of these 4 teams needs the Natty the most. Who needs a national championship? Who deserves it? First off, are we sure we got the 4 best teams? I mean, seriously. Alabama lost 2 games by a combined 5 points. Ohio State gets blown out at home. At home. My goodness. Y'all are crazy. Anyway, I mean, look, each of these teams do deserve a shot. They're all deserving of a playoff spot. I was kind of kidding about Ohio State. They deserve it. They've been a good team outside of the Michigan game. C.J. Stroud, a Heisman finalist. Amazing. Just amazing. Whew. This cold weather's not making this walk any more pleasant, by the way. It feels good. It does feel good. But it makes it harder on me. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. Because there's so many different ways you could go about the college football playoff. There's many different things you could say about the teams, the players, the coaches, the games. So let's talk about it. Want to hear from y'all in the comments. Who deserves the championship the most? Who needs that trip to LA to hoist the crown? Who needs it? Is it Georgia? Considering the season that they've had, they can't afford to be disappointed this year. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm going to say Michigan of all these teams. Because Ohio State has one more recent. Georgia just won it. I really think it's between Michigan and TCU that needs a national title the most. I don't think TCU even has one. Which, by the way, quick history. They are the first, and this is why I'm kind of rooting for them. But it is cool to finally see a Christian university, Texas Christian University, TCU, a Christian university in the playoffs. That's God's team right there. I mean, seriously, that's pretty cool. Who's not pulling for them? Who's not pulling for Max Dugan, Sonny Dykes? Who's not? I don't know. I know I'm pulling for them. Anyway, I love y'all. Jesus loves you. Comment down below who needs it the most. And we'll keep putting out great content. Don't forget, preview videos are coming up very soon. And stay tuned for more from Ballard Sports Media. Jesus loves you. I love you guys. God bless. Roll Tide.